Today I'm talking about one of the most infamous adult animes, that being Euphoria. No, not the HBO show Euphoria, even though that show has more naughty stuff than this first episode. And at first I was just planning to watch the first episode because I've heard a lot of infamous stuff about this adult anime, and then I realized that can't really make a good video out of that first episode. Alright, the setup is a bit different. That's because, surprisingly, or unsurprisingly, depending on how you think of me, I don't own this on physical media. So, legal sites it will be. Without further ado, not because I want to, just saying the tags right now, here's Euphoria episode 1. And obviously this video is gonna be quite censored, so if you want to see more naughty bits, head out on my Patreon. Oh, and there's already P. 10 out of 10, very cool. So the concept of Euphoria is actually pretty interesting. It's kind of a mix between Battle Royale and one of the movies I've covered before, Red Room. So it's basically a deaf game, where our main character, who just looks like any other adult anime protagonist, is what is called the key holder, and he is surrounded by doors in a very white room. There a computer explains the rules, and from frame 1 we get a snippet of what could go wrong with this game. We get this epileptic seizure of a woman dying on an electric chair. That's really shocking content. And since this is Euphoria, we do see that she defecated and we see a bit of urine. Oh. Good. Feces. A scene that we'll see in more details later on the episode, because we really needed to see that twice. And I just have to shout out whoever animated the steam coming out of the dead body. Great job, I hope you're doing fine. I really hope my neighbors can't see my screen through the window. What I usually watch is embarrassing enough, they don't need to see that I'm watching Euphoria. The first naughty scene is a flashback. At first I didn't understand because, well, the background colorist I guess was out of office that day, and the backdrop to the scene just looks like the rest of the movie. Show. It's just white without any color, and we meet our main character looking at the love of his life. Well, she thinks he is the love of his life, getting attacked by one of his classmates, who looks exactly like him, which is another confusing thing. Jesus Christ, adult animators, please draw a man that looks different from the other man in the show. It'll make my job way easier. Why are you crying? Those are easy spanks. My father spanked me harder than that. Oh, and there's blood. And our main character, dark-haired guy, kind of gets excited by the scene, which is weird, but I guess that is a fetish known as cucking. Oh, that's the goddamn meme lady. She's touching his pee-pee. And since this is a harem adult anime, we need to meet more of our female characters. And the other that we meet in the first episode is Nemu. Now, if you've hung around weeaboos, you've probably seen her. This is her face, and she appeared in a lot of memes. She has the blood of a Westerner. Now, Japan, what do you mean by that? She has what we could only describe as a shit-eating grin, even though, surprisingly, she's not the one eating the poo-poo. At least in the first 3 episodes. And we meet her as she touches our protagonist, which launches him into a flashback. She understands why a certain part of my body is stiff. Bruh, don't they teach you basic sex ed? Doesn't take a PhD in biochemistry to understand how a penis works. And as the boy is excited, she tells him that he should kiss her, which they do, and then they get caught by the girl with the short dark hair. I'm just gonna describe them by their hair color because none of these characters are really significant. Bro, you're in a life and death situation. Your little high school romance can wait. And then we finally get to see what the game is all about. You see, I told you guys that the main character is the key holder, and what he has to decide is which key to use to open the doors. Twist is, the keys are actually the women. Jesus Christ, the teacher has big old titties. So every round, he'll have to pick one of the girls to go into a room with them. Think 7 Minute in Heaven, except more sadistic. Like, way more sadistic. Whenever they enter a room, the machine tells them what they have to do. Well, what the guy has to do. The ladies just kind of have to deal with whatever the guy is supposed to do, so that tells you how much they care about their female characters. And the first one, well, the man has to launch his seeds twice in a period of like 30 minutes, so not the biggest challenge, but somehow the computer says that the challenge is hard, which is weird because the computer says that every challenge is hard, even the ones that aren't that hard. Well, there's one thing that's hard, and that's our main character. He was shy earlier, he's like, that was my first kiss, and then he's like, bruh, almost yelling into it. She's still a virgin. Oh, that means more blood. So he proceeds to, you know, this is gonna be really hard to talk about on YouTube. Imagine a flower, and then imagine that flower. Get it? All that to say, there's a lot of blood. And our main character seems to enjoy that, which is a recurring theme in this entire series. Lots of blood. I'm not a fan of blood. Especially not during coitus. You're a weird girl. Bro, you just realized that? She's wacky. She's even goofy, I'd say. A silly goose, if I might use vulgar language. A little goofy doofus. After a scene that personally goes on for way too long, but I guess this is meant to, you know, for the people watching to do their deeds, we finally get the climax. Quite literally. The boiling dick milk? What? I'm sorry, what? Is that how we're gonna call it? Such hot dick milk. Bro, stop saying that. That's not what it's called. So yeah, that was basically the first episode. If I could describe it with one word, it would be boring. Jesus Christ, does the first episode completely suck. I mean, if you're watching this for pleasurable reasons, you might actually kind of, in some sorts of world, be able to, you know, achieve your goals with the first episode. But then again, that would be a bit strange, you know, a tad strange, just slightly strange. Let's go for a second episode. I didn't want to, but here we go. And then we move on the second episode where he chooses the girl that, you know, loves him. Isn't that lovely? Isn't that adorable? No, it's not, because this gets silly real fucking quick. The first episode was a 0, the second one is 100, and then the third episode goes back to 0. We're a bit on edge. Yeah. I'm edging. So the second episode starts with them talking a lot. I don't care about that. Oh, the girl he likes is the one that got attacked in this classroom. Oh, that's why he doesn't want to know. He doesn't want people to know that she lost her virginity. And then he remembers what the other girl told him. How he should pick her every time, because, you know, she can tolerate pain. And that other girl, you know, she's a wuss. She can't endure pain. Well, he sticks it in her face, quite literally, and shows the other girl that that black-haired girl can take a lot of damage. That's a lot of damage. Oh, he got the maniacal face. Oh, God. Sir. Have some pity. That's a lot of blood. And one of the reasons he doesn't want to pick her at first, even though he has feelings for her, is because of what he saw at the beginning of the show. He thinks that she doesn't have, you know, her flower anymore. Which is a weird reason to not pick her, but, you know. Adult anime logic. Or else he dies, I think. Jesus Christ, he's pile driving her. Have some... Please, sir. Restrain yourself. No need to pull the WWE moves right now. But when he gets with her, he sees that she still produces a lot of blood. And again, he really enjoys that. And that's where the main character figures out something about himself. He's a sadist.
Well, no fucking shit.
So after he's done with her the first time, he imagines a lot of scenarios where she is in absolute agony. Feeling reality from you? Bro, are you having a psychosis? None of that is pleasurable to the viewer. Again, unless that's what you're into. No kink shame here, even though, look, she eats a turd. Human toilet, let's go! Let's go, finally! Finally. Oh! This is not good. She loves it. She got that smile. She got that dog in her. I knew this anime was gonna have turd eating, but you could have at least warned me. You could have built up to that. It was vanilla with a bit of blood, and then bam, woman toilet. Is he plugging a car battery to her nipples? My man, that's for boosting your car, not your cock. And then, you know, she's like stuck like that, and he's using his man meat to do the deed. And then we get the like final coitus scene where she's in an electric chair, and he's putting electric things on her body, and then he's turning up the heat. So every few seconds he's turning it up until he reaches max, which she starts like convulsing. I would be worried at that point, but he just gets more excited. Again, he's a bit of a psychopath, that young fella. he's just smiling as she's dying from shock. Oh, urine. Oh, here we go. Another bodily fluid to check off the list. It's a me, Mario. He's rock hard. He's this hard. I'm far enough in the video. By the way, all of these girls and the guy, since, you know, Japan, are students. I'm gonna say college for the sake of YouTube, but you know damn well they're not from college. And one of the female character is the teacher. No, that's not the wrong place. Trust me. He knew exactly what he was doing. Look at his face. Look at his face. For God's sakes. If there was a piece of poop that comes out of there, I'm not gonna be happy. So yeah, whenever she gets electrocuted, she has to say that she's deriving some sorts of pleasure from that, which eventually she does, and she also, you know, doesn't have enough time to go to the toilet to pee-pee, so she pee-pees everywhere, and then that's pretty much the end of that girl for at least, you know, the episodes I've seen. There is also some romance, there's some character development, they talk between the scenes, but none of that really matters. I know why you're all here, you bunch of pervs. Wanted to kill her with pleasure, sir. You need help. And then the third episode is where he chooses a different girl. She doesn't seem bothered. She's unbothered, moisturized, and living her best life. He's gonna cheat on his little friend. I scroll through this and there's a lot of blood. There's a lot of blood. I'm not down for this. Oh my god, that looks like a lot of blood. And that's a problem for a main character because when he inserts, she doesn't react the way he wants her to react, which is with crying, by the way. Again, cool dude there, buddy. And eventually, you know, as there's more and more blood, there's so much blood in that scene, it's disgusting. Bro, you gotta slow, that's a lot of blood. You gotta slow down, you're making my chin disappear. You know, she's starting to derive pleasure from the whole thing, so he picks her again, and that's where we get him, how do I say that in a YouTube-friendly manner, punches her cunt. Oh, he's fist. Jesus Christ, sir. My womb! My womb! She's... And then they plan something, they really want to escape. There's a big room, they have some steak, and then they have regular vanilla intercourse, and then that's the end of episode 3. Alright, that's it. I'm done. I am done. So, what did I think of Euphoria? I hated it.